Autumn House, The Great Sex Experiment, Episode 2. I don't know what it is about this show, but I literally feel as if I've watched several episodes of this already. It's the stress that this man caused me. In Episode 1, Mark and Tanith went to this swingers retreat because he is a cheating fuckbag and she wants to appease him. She's so desperate to keep a hold of him that she decides that they should try having an open relationship and they should have a counsellor in this show because she clearly was not interested in having an open relationship. But anyway, he ended up in a tent with several women. Now last time I says it was like 6 or 7, but it turned out that 6 women went into the tent, but he only ended up going with 4 of them. Only 4, so not too bad. Meanwhile, she's away to bed on her own. Fucking skis bag fuck. Although I have to be fair, it was her idea to go there in the first place. Do you know what I mean? So he was only taking advantage of the situation. So he goes back to the room and she's like, oh, what happened? And he's like, oh, I went with like 4 women. And she's like, 4, right? She's pure greeting. She's like, you've humiliated me and all that. And he says, oh, if I thought that this would have hurt you, I wouldn't have done it. Lies. The women who he went with were talking the next day and they were saying, oh, I wonder how his partner feels about it. Maybe you should have asked that question before you let him fucking shove it in you. No point in fucking wondering what she's thinking now that it's done. Now listen, I am not against people being swingers, right? You do what you want to do. But I used to hang about with a swinger, and I said this in my last video as well, and she told me that there used to be rooms where the lights were off and you just went in and just went with like whoever. That's disturbing to me. It's disturbing on so many levels. I need to know if these people have to have an STI test first. Also, you could end up in there with a relative, you could end up in there with anybody. It's not for me. I get that some people want to invite other people into the relationship or whatever, and that's fine. But I don't know if it's just the way it's edited, but it seems to me as if anytime they go to somebody in this show and say, oh, do you want to join us? They just automatically say aye. Like they've got no standards. It's just like, oh, it breathes. Alright then, I'll join in. Although, in the next time episode, it does look as if one of the couples get rejected by somebody else, so it'll be interesting to see what they say. So anyway, they go to the non-monogamy coach and she's upset and she's like, oh, do you think lines were crossed? Aye. They were supposed to go there to invite somebody else into the relationship and he ended up going with 4 women. Anyway, he's a total fucking skis bag. But she was saying, oh, I'm still interested in like trying this out, right? So the non-monogamy coach says, right, you take the lead this time, go out to the picnic the day and you take control of the situation. So she's talking to this French woman and she's liking her, right? So she goes to him and says, oh, I think I'm going to invite her to join in. So she invites her to join in and later on she comes up to the room and she's a lingerie model. You should see this woman's body, right? Absolutely banging. And she's got on this really nice lingerie and she brings her lingerie to wear as well. Because I think originally she's got on like wee satin jammies or whatever. So they're getting on with what they're getting on with and they're having a great time. So that's all fine and well. She does actually seem as if she's into it at this point. Paul and Chloe, the married couple, they've been together for 10 years. They've only ever went with each other up until episode 1 when she had a threesome with 2 girls. And he was like, oh, does that mean they still find me attractive? They still like men? He's paranoid out his box. So they go to see the non-monogamy coach and he's saying, I don't really know how I feel about it now. Because the whole plan was for them to go to this retreat and for them to have a threesome with another girl. But she ended up taking matters into her own hands and going with the 2 girls. So now he's like, how come I wasn't invited? So the coach is like, right, okay, you're not feeling very comfortable. This time you go out and you can go on a date with whoever you want. So he picks this lassie and they go on a date. Basically, they go straight into the tent with the bed. And it's just like, take your clothes off. Not my idea of a date, but everybody's different. So they're sitting kissing all that. This lassie again, stunning, beautiful body. She's got nice wee pink underwear on. Everything's going well. They're kissing on the bed. And he's like, oh, my nerves just went. And the thing that I don't really understand is like, I get that you can have open relationships and you can invite other people into your relationship and stuff, right? But he's, 1 minute he's kissing her and he's saying, oh, I'm nervous. And then the next minute he's like, oh, the nerves just went. So at that point, he's not even thinking about his wife. He's not thinking about the person he's been with for 10 years at all. it really just goes to show you how the men can shift like that. It's quite weak in my opinion, but we're all different. To be fair to him, though, they could have just done stuff on that bed, right? And he obviously was actually thinking it because he says, oh, we should go and ask Chloe if she wants to join in. He could have took full advantage, but he didn't. And the last that he was on a date was more into men anyway, right? So he left. I'll give him that. He did leave and he went to say to the wife, oh, do you want to join in later? She's going to come up to the room. Later on, the girl came up to the room and he was in, I don't know what he was doing, brushing his teeth or whatever it was, and they two just got started without him. She was like, oh, let's just go. And I felt a bit bad for him because I felt like he's supposed to be involved in this. However, I think it did get a bit of the awkwardness out the way rather than just sitting there at first and like, who's going to go first? She took the initiative. She's like, right, I've been with 2 women now. I know what I'm doing. Let's just do this. So they were having a threesome. It was a wee bit more awkward looking than the other one, to be honest, but they were still having fun. Then when they were leaving the retreat, he's like, oh, we've went for only going with each other to like the complete opposite. As if they were pure players now. I was like, alright, calm down, you've went with one other woman in your life. Chill. In comes this new couple, Sarah and John, and they're saying they've been together for years. They're best friends, they have a laugh together, they love each other, but the spark's gone in the bedroom. And they've been to a couple of sex clubs before, but they haven't joined in. So they're saying if we don't do this now, it's like now or never. When they were talking to the coach, they were saying that they were a bit scared in case they asked somebody and they got rejected. And I thought, fuck, you're not going to have that problem in there. See, as long as you're alive, they're willing to shove it in you. Even then, that might not be a question for some of them. But then when it shows you next time, I don't know, it looked as if he was in a bad mood, right? And I didn't know if he just didn't want to get involved or if the other couple rejected them. So imagine you had that fear of like being rejected and then the couple actually rejected you. On camera, you'd be like, ah, fucking hell, man. This is why we didn't want to do this. But anyway, not really much has happened with them yet. They were just saying that they wanted to do it, but they haven't yet. Mark and Tanith left the retreat, and I must say that when she left, she did seem a lot happier. She was like, oh, it was like a really great experience and all that. And since the show, they have met up with that woman again, and apparently she's pregnant. I was going to say, now I'm not one to judge, but I think it's quite clear that I am one to judge. He couldn't even keep it in his pants for 1 year in the relationship. 1 year. And she's having a baby with him already. Wouldn't be me. But who am I? Maybe now that he's getting to have sex with 2 women, he'll be able to keep it in his pants with randoms. These 2 left the retreat. Seemed totally happy. He wasn't like paranoid anymore. And since the show, they've paired up with that same girl again for more threesomes in their living life. And they're saying, oh, this is going to bring the spark back into the relationship for years to come. All's going well. And one of the girls that she had a threesome with in the first night, they're all going to go to a sex club together. So everything seems to be going well for them. We'll see what happens next with Sarah and John, if they reject somebody or if they get rejected. But this show's looking for the next people to apply if you want to apply for the next season. It's not that I think that there's anything wrong with swingers. I actually don't. I think that if that's what you're into, 100% go for it. But I just think that everybody should have at least some standard. Going into a room with the light off and just feeling your way about and going with MD and not knowing how many people you've went with or who they are or anything is the boke to me. But not everybody's got standards, and that's just how some people are. One thing that I will say actually that I noticed is that at this retreat, I don't know if they've hired it out specifically for the show being on or whatever else, I didn't see any fat people at that retreat at all. And I know that fat people are swingers because I've seen a lot of them in my lifetime. I don't know if it was just like, oh, we'll only book in like the really good looking people or whatever for the show, but not sure. I was expecting a lot more bigger people. If you've watched this show, let me know what you think, and I'll see you again next week. Bye!